Woo! Hello Team Power Sports fans, and welcome back to the TPS Moto Vlog. My name is Sarah, and I'm going to be your host today. On today's episode of the TPS Moto Vlog, we are going to be taking a look at the 2019 Honda CRF 450L. Now this bike stands apart from all other metric dual sport motorcycles in the sense that it is not a weakened lower power street bike with on-road off-road wheels. Now I'm not saying a disservice to any of the other fine dual sports out there like the WR or the CRF 450L or the XT 250 or Suzuki's DR series, the DRZ 400, all fantastic motorcycles, but the CRF 450L is the first of the Japanese metric motorcycle manufacturers to build a dual sport out of their race bike. This thing has all the travel in the suspension. It has the similar motor with a couple of changes to make it a little bit more street-worthy. But for the most part, this 450L is almost the exact same as the 450RX. It's got huge power. We're talking 40-plus horsepower straight from the factory. Now, it is a little bit weaker than, say, the 450R race bike over there, because it has a little bit of extra weight in the engine, heavier connecting rods to make it a little bit smoother for street operation. But you do get, like I said, the full travel. You get the titanium gas tank. You get these really, really nice looking DID black wheels, which that's the RX. I think the L looks extra saucy with those black wheels. LED headlight, LED tail light. This is a motocross bike with turn signals, headlight. You can ride it on the street. So here we are in the saddle of the CRF 450L. It feels like a motocross bike, except up here on the dashboard we've got a key. It appears as though I have a full dashboard display, so I've got miles per hour, mileage on the bike. This one's got about 160 miles on it right now. It is a factory demo, which is super cool, and a clock. Let's see, I've got my check engine light, I've got my high beam indicator light, neutral indicator light, turn signal indicator light. Unfortunately, it does not have a gas gauge. It just has a low fuel light. But it does tell you how much miles per gallon you're getting, which is pretty cool. Right now, based on just the few demo rides we've done on it, it looks as though the average miles per gallon is 48.6, which is not too shabby. It's a little over a 2-gallon gas tank, which means you're getting just shy of 100 miles on a tank of gas, which isn't horrible for what kind of motorcycle this is. So let's go back to just standard odometer. High beam, low beam, horn, turn signals, starter. Cool. Hear how it revs up with not very much turn of the throttle. Dang. I don't usually get the jitters when I ride a bike, but this thing has a lot of power and a very small amount of weight. I'm getting a lot of that big single-cylinder noise, which I love, which is awesome. It goes through the RPMs super quick, so downshifting, it just right into the lower gear, which is pretty cool. It tracks weird in corners, the way anything would with big old knobby dual sport tires on there. This is fun. This is super-de-duper fun. The brakes are excellent. Obviously, when you have all the suspension travel, you do get a little bit of dive in the front end, even if you're applying the rear brake as well, but whew, that's a cool motorcycle. All right, now that I'm getting used to the way the power comes on, it's fairly strong. I mean, this really is the essence of the hooligan motorcycle. So even with the kind of squirrely dual sport tires that it comes with from the factory, it is not that bad bad in these long sweeping corners. All right, don't get too crazy with it, Sarah. But I can tell that if you wanted to, whew, you could 12 o'clock this bike very easily in many of the gears. Again, not that I'm recommending it. So let's talk a little bit about the ergonomics of this bike. It's a dirt bike. The seat is not really designed for comfort, although I will say I don't find the seat to be grossly uncomfortable to sit on. The handlebars are low and in front of you in a very comfortable and neutral position. With this being a motocross bike that has been redesigned for the street, the seat is extremely long. So if you're out there jumping on the dirt, you might want to sit further forward to get your weight over the center line of the bike. If you're trying to bring the front up, you might want to sit closer to the back. The one only really drawback I can see to going with the 450L is because this is based on the 450R race motorcycle, it does have a much shorter service interval than, say, a traditional dual sport motorcycle. 600 miles are your service intervals. But when you think about a race bike, and remember that a race bike has to be serviced like every 15 hours or every time you race it, 600 miles of getting out there and riding around on the street isn't really that preposterous. And since this is a performance-oriented motorcycle, not really a long-distance tourer, I don't really think you're going to be riding it several hundred miles at a time. Chances are you're probably going to be riding it to your favorite dirt road or your favorite urban area or your favorite motocross track. The benefit here being, instead of having to load up your dirt bike into the back of your truck or on your trailer and get gas and drive to the place, you can just get on your 450L and ride it to where you're going to ride around a little bit, and then head back home. Now that I've been riding it for a few minutes, this bike is really cool and really interesting. The power comes on crazy strong. Like, if you've never rode a motocross bike before, it's shocking how fast that motor revs from just nothing to wahoo, wide open. Suspension travel is excellent. The exhaust note on this thing is absolutely fantastic. Motocross bike. It's a little toasty out here today, TPS fans. And I will say, in true dirt bike form and fashion, I am getting a little bit of engine heat from here around where the exhaust goes up past the frame and out to the rear end. One final womp. Woo! Riding this thing out here on the street makes me feel like I'm in one of those rough and tumble dirt bike street gangs that you see on the news, except I can't get in trouble for this because it's legal. Got a license plate. A license for shenanigans. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. The 2019 Honda CRF 450L. I give it 10 out of 10 on shenanigans. I give it 10 out of 10 on hooligans. I give it 7 out of 10 on comfort. You got to come down here to Team Power Sports in Garner. We're at 222 US 70 East in Garner, North Carolina. You can find us on the web at www.team-powersports.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Team Power Sports and hashtag TPSNC. Hopefully we'll see you here. That's it for the TPS Motovlog, friends. We will see you next time.